The Supreme Committee in charge of discussing the mechanisms to deal with the developments resulting from the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19 held a meeting this morning at the Ministry of Interior under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, with the presence of their excellencies, the members of the Supreme Committee, to follow up on the developments of this pandemic, measures to prevent it and ways to avoid its spreading. The committee reviewed the marked increase in the number of deaths as well as the increase in the number of infected cases, especially among Omani families, as a result of the increase in contact and visits, according to the results of the epidemiological investigation. The committee expressed its concern about this increase and calls upon all citizens and residents to exercise utmost care and caution and to adhere to the precautionary measures that would reduce the height of injuries and deaths. The committee also reviewed a report on epidemiological data in both the governorate of the Far and the Wilayat of Masira, which were closed in light of the precautionary measures that it approved to limit the spread of this disease, and decided to continue their closure until further notice. The committee discussed the citizens' request to travel abroad and agreed to facilitate this provided that they are committed upon return to the precautionary controls established or any future controls issued by the competent authorities. The Ministry of Health announced the registration of 14 death cases in the Sultanate related to COVID-19, bringing the total 273 deaths. The ministry also announced the registration of 1,389 new confirmed cases of COVID-19. 1,050 of them are Omanis, while 339 are non-Omanis, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 59,568. The Ministry of Health has stressed that 37,987 cases have recovered. Back to work is a step of hope for the best to come. Here are the instructions that will protect you from coronavirus. Wear masks while leaving your house by following proper procedures. Keep a physical distance of at least 2 meters away from others. Follow the main hygienic procedures of washing or sanitizing hands from time to time. Avoid using elevators as much as possible, and if you have to use it, ensure less number of people to guarantee physical distance from one another. Gatherings at entrances, waiting rooms, offices, meeting halls and prayer places are forbidden. If you have any symptoms of the disease, immediately contact the bodies concerned specified by the Ministry of Health. By adhering to these instructions, it will assist you in preventing from contracting the COVID-19. Stay safe. The Ministry of Health adopted a rapid testing technique for coronavirus at 12 hospitals in order to conduct tests for emergency cases and keep pace with the increase in the number of the infected cases. The national cadres at the Central Public Health Laboratories are working at an accelerated pace to do the tests and contribute in the national efforts to limit the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. The laboratory technicians at the Central Public Health Laboratories are working day and night to deal with the infected cases while sticking to strict preventive measures. During the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, around 500 to 700 samples were examined daily at the Central Health Laboratories, but due to the increase of the infected cases, 3,000 to 4,000 samples are being examined daily at these labs. The Ministry of Health conducted over 244,000 tests for COVID-19 since the start of this pandemic. Most of the activities in the Sultanate went back to work after the lockdown due to COVID-19 in order to fulfill our needs. But we should be extra careful and should think about those health cadres who are in direct contact with the infected patients and trying to control the pandemic. More details in the following report by our colleague Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarrai.
Corona pandemic has changed many things in life. After 2 months lockdown, life had to go back to normal with some strict precautions to stop the spread of COVID-19. However, trying to live with a pandemic doesn't mean that it has finished. Therefore, protecting our beloved country is everyone's responsibility in this society. Many activities have stopped, especially businesses, because of COVID-19. However, other activities never stopped, such as health sector. Those warriors who are working as a frontline shield, sacrificing their lives with bravery in every single health institute in Oman, should be helped by us, as this is a shared responsibility. Here in Sur Hospital, we find many samples of those warriors. Although the number of positive cases is increasing, but they never thought to give up.
In this hospital, critically ill patients are increasing. The number of the patients that are going under the ventilator are increasing too. So unfortunately, we're losing some patients. So it's very important for everyone to inform this and to know this, that is very critical time at the moment. And I recommend for all of people in Oman and all world to continue protecting themselves with wearing masks all the time, especially in the closed space areas.
The new healthy practices should not be considered as a burden. They are useful protection steps that we should follow to protect ourselves and others. Those practices, such as wearing a mask, cleaning our hands, and others, should be part of our daily life. Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarrai from South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate, Wilaya of Sur.
The Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Sports Affairs, participated in the workshop Gulf Youth in the Corona Pandemic Stage Challenges and Opportunities. The workshop was organized by the General Secretariat of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries through video communication and with the participation of 21 male and female youth and a number of experts in the youth field in the GCC countries. Participants in the workshop recommended holding periodic workshops among youths of the GCC countries to review success stories and how to overcome challenges, benefit from the experiences of virtual meetings and circulate in it the GCC countries to ensure its continuity. As part of the national efforts to address the new corona outbreak, youth volunteers from various areas are playing a big role in the response to the coronavirus pandemic. More details in the following report. Each new day, as the sun rose and the lights of the city houses extinguished, a group of youth volunteers are on their way to donate their time for a day-long work up until sunset, while others carry out their work all night long. These are a group of energetic youth who have contributed their time since pandemic emerged in the Sultanate and continued to do so. As part of the national efforts to address the new corona outbreak, youth volunteers from various areas are playing a big role in response to the corona pandemic, as their participation has provided great assistance in different areas. Here we came across a group of final year student nurses from College of Pharmacy and Nursing, University of Nizwa, who have rallied to be part of the team at the Center of Operation Management COVID-19, operated by the Directorate General of Health Services, Muscat Governorate, which is currently located temporarily at the Higher College of Technology, Muscat. The center, with its various sections, functions around the clock 7 days a week. We spoke to one of the youth volunteers while she was in action, and she had these to say.
تمام أيوب، ففي حال صارت معك أي مضاعفات توجهها لأقرب مركز صحي. تمام؟ شكرا. We are all volunteers from University of Nizwa, College of Pharmacy and Nursing, School of Nursing. Our main task is to contact those whom the results were positive of COVID-19 to learn more about their health condition and to guide them in terms of how to prevent the spread of this infectious disease to others. We as youth, it's our duty to give service to our country. Oman needs its youth to contribute, especially at this time of pandemic. May God help all of us. Thank you.
We also spoke to another volunteer from another college and said,
I am delighted to work hand by the students from University of Nizwa in the College of Nursing, and we would like to deliver our sincere gratitude for the healthcare workers spread all over the Sultanate of Oman.
The main tasks for this youth here is to give general information and to link the caller to the correct healthcare institutions. Of course, there are various sections that are managed by the group of specialists where they are supporting and promoting the health of isolated individuals who are in the institutional and home isolation, getting them with the necessary advice and information in coordination with other specialists, and when required to be admitted, the communication with other medical staff is taking place in the health institutions to admit cases on the basis determined by medical indications, as well as dealing with other issues, complaints and notifications.
As the number of confirmed cases of COVID is increasing, the load is increased as well. So the need for workforce and volunteers is required. Therefore, I would like to thank University of Nizwa and their nursing students who participate in this pandemic. We are extremely glad for their work and contributing in this pandemic. Volunteer work is very essential, and it does reflect their sense of responsibility among their community and Oman.
These youth volunteers have provided great assistance in battling the coronavirus pandemic. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat. Now, to learn more on volunteerism from Nizwa University is Dr. Salim bin Saeed Al-Tobi, Associate Professor and Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Nursing, University of Nizwa. Dr. Salim, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Abdullah, and on behalf of the Chancellor, Vice Chancellors, academic and administrative staff, and students of University of Nizwa, we appreciate Oman TV shedding light into the community engagement and service provided by the university. The mission of University of Nizwa calls for equipping students with values, knowledge, and life skills that enrich the students and enable them to contribute effectively to the advancement of society. Actually, in early September 2019, the university passed a resolution for the Student Development Program, cultivating more than 14 years of various initiatives in a well-structured approach. One of the pillars of the Student Development Program is volunteer work, and hours spent in volunteer work are converted to units that will appear in the Student Development Program transcript, which is mirroring the academic transcript. The university also developed a university elective course on volunteer work to help students understand further the notion of volunteering. To ensure that the University of Nizwa meets its mission, the Student Development Program policy states that all students are required to have 5 credit units in the Student Development Program for them to graduate.
All right, Dr. Salim, how many volunteers and where are they providing services?
There are 29 nursing students of the University of Nizwa assisting the Director General of Health Services in Muscat in their effort to curb the increasing cases of COVID-19 in the Sultanate. The students were deployed in various areas like the surveillance centers in Higher College of Technology and Darse, the quarantine facilities in Oman National Engineering and Investment Company and Bosha, and the testing centers in Ghala.
Can you tell us about exactly the contribution of these volunteers?
Part of the activities of the students deployed in the surveillance centers include assisting in contact tracing of positive cases, history taking, and counseling. Those assigned in quarantine facilities assist in admission and discharge and vital sign monitoring, while those assigned in the testing centers assist in history taking, vital sign monitoring, and nose and throat swabbing.
Thank you for highlighting to us on the volunteerism actually at Nizwa University. Now, do you have any other comments to this particular students and others at the same time?
Actually, the university would like to thank the Ministry of Health, Directorate General of Nursing Affairs, and the Directorate General of Health Services in Muscat for providing the chance for our students to volunteer. Also, we would like to thank all the volunteering students for the noble work they are currently doing. In addition, our gratitude to Petroleum Development of Oman for providing board for our volunteering students, as well as Omantel for providing data packages to support the summer online learning of the students while they are volunteering. Finally, once again, we thank Oman TV for their coverage of this initiative.
Dr. Salim, once again, thank you very much for your time and the good work your students are carrying out. Wishing you all the best. That was Dr. Salim bin Saeed Tobi, Associate Professor and Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Nursing, University of Nizwa. The public establishment for Industrial Estate Madain has officially begun the establishments of Ibri Industrial City in the Wilaya of Ibri in the Governorate of Al-Dhahira. More details in the following report.
On a total area of 10 million square meters, the Public Establishment for Industrial Estates Madain announced that work has officially commenced to establish Ibri Industrial City in Al-Dhahira Governorate. The master plan of the industrial city is currently underway, while the detailed design work and tender documents for the implementation of Phase 1 are expected to be completed during the fourth quarter of this year. Ibri Industrial City, which is located on the road leading to the border between Oman and Saudi Arabia, will comprise several commercial activities, including light and medium industries, administrative offices, industrial workshops, health center, accommodation, and service center. The new industrial city in Ibri will support the economic activities and the industrial sector in Al-Dhahira Governorate and the neighboring governorates. It will also provide business opportunities for SMEs and entrepreneurs at one integrated environment. Ibri Industrial City represents the ongoing efforts of the Sultanate's government to boost economic development in the various governorates, in line with the national priorities of Oman Vision 2040, to create an ideal environment to attract local and foreign investments. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
The implementation on support and follow-up unit said that the National Energy Center's Internet of Things devices factory will locally manufacture smart meters and expand their use. The new factory at Al Rusail Industrial Estate investments reached 4 million Omani Rials and will create 30 jobs by 2021 in the first phase. The factory considered as a step towards localizing technical knowledge in the Sultanate. The major benefits of the projects are reducing the cost of using conventional meters, providing accurate data on consumption, monitoring, reducing and locating leakages, and adjusting user consumption. The factory will start its production in the last quarter of the current year. In the framework of the Public Authority for Radio and Television's efforts to expand radio transmissions in all the governorates of the Sultanate, the FM radio station was operated in the governorate of Al-Buremi to enhance the broadcasting of Radio Sultanate of Oman in high quality according to advanced and modern technologies. The project will contribute to coverage at the governorate of Al-Buremi and nearby governorates and ensuring that the signal can be reached with ease and better clarity to the listeners. The station project was implemented with the design and supervision of the cadres of the Public Authority for Radio and Television on an area of 9,055 square meters and includes 2 halls and offices and a transmission tower with a length of 155 meters. The new station broadcast frequencies of Radio Sultanate of Oman with its 5 channels, general radio with the frequency 96.1 MHz, and then radio of the Holy Quran with the frequency of 93, radio of youth with the frequency of 106.5, English FM with the frequency of 104.2, and radio of classical music with a frequency of 102.6. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Supreme Committee in charge of dealing with COVID-19 spread decides to continue the lockdown in the governorate of Dhofar and the Wilayat of Masira. The Ministry of Health announces 1,389 new cases of COVID-19 and 14 deaths. And the work officially starts on establishing the Ibri Industrial City in the governorate of Al-Dhahira on a total area of 10 million square meters. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Thank you for joining us, and do remember to take all the precautions, stay safe and healthy at home. Good night.